Good morning, everybody. It's Andy ZZ Frequency. Thank you so much for joining again. Okay, so today is going to be probably kind of controversial. I know that there's a lot of people that really like this guy. And to me, it's a little cult-like. So I'm sorry if I'm offending everybody, but I just want to point out a few things. I have to in good conscience. So let's start right here. Okay, so this guy Caber to get whatever. I'm probably slaughtering the pronunciation. I'm sorry if any of you watch. I've never watched this podcast. I don't know. But I want to go through this and pick this apart piece by piece so that we can look at this objectively, so that you are not giving your power to anybody outside of yourself, basically. So let me start here. There are key differences between what Pleiadians say about ascension, the shift, and what others are saying. It is important to recognize that Pleiadian disclosure matches what Jesus taught about the rapture or day of the Lord because the information is from the same source. So right now, this guy is basically equating the contacts that he has to Jesus. Make your first note. So that makes it okay for Christians. For you to, he's basically saying, playing to the Christians and saying, I'm in contact with Jesus. Next step. In a flash, in the twinkling of an eye, we shall be changed. Ascension is a galactic federation plan, not the result of a cosmic cycle or solar flash. It happens to specific planets of their choosing. We're receiving downloads and light right now in preparation for it, but ascension isn't a gradual process. It will happen instantly. It will happen to Earth only once. So ascension is not a galactic federation plan. It absolutely is part of a cosmic cycle. And I would say the ascension is really just growing into what's already here, but it's being overlaid. So we as spiritual beings are growing, and we're going to be growing out of an old plan or an old false matrix, and into our own power. So no, this is not a galactic federation plan. I'm not sold on the Galactic Federation. I don't believe I think there are groups that are trying to help us. I do not think there's one group that is in charge of a solar cycle. Give me a break. This is the ending of a cycle. It's Kali Yuga, the whole thing. So we have to understand when people are starting to claim that they're in contact with something that's in power of everything, that means you're not in power. That's the problem. You're giving your power to somebody else. Then the power is you. You have your own power. You are creating your own reality. So there we go. One shall be taken, one shall be left behind. Another important distinction is that not everyone will experience it. This is the penalty for choosing evil. Regular flawed people will make it. If you are worried about it, you'll be fine. So right there, that's a stand-on message. It's totally fine if you're flawed. We're all flawed. That's the reality. We're all growing. We're all a work in progress. There's nobody that's perfect. But the message here is saying, don't worry, you don't have to improve. Just stay where you are. The Galactic Federation's got you. You're gonna be fine. That is not a true spiritual teaching. Any and everyone has room to grow. Any and everyone. Nobody is perfect. So, and anybody that is trying to help you advance spiritually is going to help point out those things, or what they will do. What I've had and questioning things is I usually get questions back, which is really frustrating. but the point there is to, why are you asking me? Ask yourself. Why are you asking me? Ask yourself. They're wanting to empower you, not just saying, oh, you're fine. You're good. Don't worry about it. That's not a good message, guys. So now let's go on to the next and this, I didn't cut anything out. It's all there. You can look up this post on yourself. It's on X. The meek shall inherit the 5D earth. This point of ascension is to allow those who are ready to become a galactic civilization to rise, and for those who choose evil to remain behind for more lessons. Many in the spiritual community are recycling the same ideas about the shift because they lack specific information about Galactic Federation and are relying on inaccurate channeling and intuitive methods. Sorry. So what this message is that I'm right, you're wrong. So if your message is not my message, you're wrong. This is a cult tactic. It's a cult tactic to remove any opposition, and if you either trust me or you trust nobody. He's asking for your trust. He's asking for your power, and people are giving it to him. How will we know when it happens? It will be obvious. We'll be youthful and healthy and gain superpowers. There will be no more dark forces in our reality. Crafts will immediately land and we'll meet our galactic family without fear. For all these reasons, full disclosure and open contact can only happen after the shift. If we were waiting on a solar flash, there would be no guarantee we'd be the ones to experience it. Pleiadians promise us that we are the only ones who will experience it because Elder, I think it's maybe Ikai, I don't know, leader of Galactic Federation, decides the exact moment it will happen. So we've got this guy, Elder Ikai, that has all of our fates in his hand, and we don't have to worry about it. That's a problem. That's a problem. This is a false god. And I'm really sorry to anybody that likes this guy and follows him. And there's been a lot of people that fall into this. And I know that they're so wrapped up in this narrative. But the real story here, the real focus is yourself. And learning to trust yourself. You are the power. Nobody, anything that is telling you that there's something more powerful outside of yourself is bullshitting you. I'm telling you, you're the power. And everybody should feel that way. So your fate is in your hands. And it's important for us to act now, not stand down. So I hope that doesn't burst anybody's bubble. I have to, in good conscience, speak out on this because it's just a very big psyop. And he's got a huge platform. Anybody that's got a huge platform like this and they're not being taken out by the CIA, there's something wrong. So, yeah, that's end of the story. There are people that I trust in this community. Well, I don't even want to say community. It's such a disjointed thing. This shit show. But at the end of the day, I have to trust myself more than anybody else. The feelings that I get, the impressions that I get, everything is deceptive. There's layers upon layers upon layers upon layers. And we have to learn to not put our trust outside of ourselves. We have to learn to trust ourselves. That's the whole point. Okay. Next thing is a good friend of mine. So is this going to go? Okay, there we go. So we've got, well, this is a two-pronged thing. So we've got Ryan Bledsoe once again claiming these meteors as his. Oh, he's copywriting all meteors. All over the world, can you see what's happening all around Easter 2026? So here's another thing. Why they're giving us 2 dates. They're telling us Easter 2026 was what it was when the star of Regulus meets the gays. But then they're also saying that it's October. So he's just making it all about him. But I do, oh, you know what? Let me put that back. We see a lot of these, if I can get it, these meteors and these sightings going on right now. These meteors, I think some are meteorites. I shouldn't say meteors, meteorites. I think some of these are valid meteorites. I've seen one where it was like all green. I've seen a few of these videos, but I've also seen ones that, are doing like a crazy pattern going up and down. What I think is going on with that is that a lot of these sightings are man-made. I think they're designed to look like this. So this is part of the plan for them. They want these things to look like ancient art around Jesus, so that it looks like we're heading toward the Armageddon. They want this in your collective consciousness. So just know, none of this is scary. None of this is anything to be worried about. This is them trying to push their narrative, and they're trying to trigger things in your subconscious. So don't fall into it. You're a sovereign being. Yeah, I'll stop there. This next one, because I'm trying to not be on a tangent about the blood cells again. Here's a one that's kind of funny, but also a more serious topic.
Let me tell you this, right?
Yeah.
Take of this what you like.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was in bed with a woman, and that's it. That's the end of my story. No, I was in bed with a woman, right? I'm lying on the pillow, and I'm looking at her face, right? Her face turned into what I could only describe as a reptilian.
A lizard.
My face went, oh my God. She looks at me and she says, I'm not a reptilian. Boom!
Whoa.
Take it, make of that what you will. That's what happened.
Okay, so and there's a lot of people that this happens to. Reptilians will need, or it may just be one, I don't know. They take energy from us, whether that's sexual energy or whether that's bad feelings, negative energy, looshing. And why I wanted to bring this up, and I've had a couple of run-ins with people that have shown reptilian eyes. One was an intimidation tactic. The second one was a very nice person. I really liked them. So let's not just fall into fear when we hear these things, because not every reptilian is regressive. But I also wanted to point out that there's a speaker, well, let's just say it, Elena Denon, who was selling the idea that there are no grays and there are no reptilians in our solar system. And that is probably one of the more dangerous things that she's pushed. When you have your guard down, you're wide open. So I'm not trying to scare anybody, but what I want you all to do is take your time every day to shield. And I shield at least twice a day, sometimes 3, 4, 5, whatever it is, whenever I'm, whenever I think about it, or if something seems weird to me, I'll shield. So definitely putting that intention out there is that you're shielded and you're protected is a good practice. It's harder for them to get to you. I won't say, well, I've been attacked a couple of times on here now, but my focus is elsewhere, and so I'm not as relaxed as I normally would be, and they can get in a little easier. So, but putting that intention out there and shielding always in the morning, definitely before you go to bed, and throughout the day as you think about it, because there are things that are here. Things do want your energy. Things do want to attach to you. So I just want to put it out there that we're not in the clear. There's no reason to be scared. You're an eternal being. But you do want to be on guard. Have your head on a swivel, because we are in really crazy times right now. But the good news about that is they're desperate. So that's why we're seeing all of this craziness go on. They want to completely overwhelm us and then tell us what to think. So this is it seems like a last attempt at them retaining their control. We can all feel that pressure building, which I like applying the pressure to them, because Lord knows, have they not applied the, well, and I shouldn't say Lord, my God, but I just say things, sorry. But Lord knows, I just did it again. We all know they put plenty of pressure on us. So I don't really care. They're really lashing out, but they're floundering. So that's the good thing. So everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm sorry if I've offended anybody, but I really have to call it out as I see it. And I wouldn't be doing you right if I didn't call it out. So I hope that, and again, you're allowed to think whatever you want to think. You don't have to agree with me, but we don't have to fall out either. So that's just where we are. And I'm not a thought leader. I'm not trying to get anybody to think the way that I think. I want people to understand what I'm seeing, and then you can make your own decision. I just want to put things out there so that you can open your eyes and look at things in a different way. But I'm not trying to change minds here. I'm just putting it out there. So thank you so much. Remember to stay sovereign, and I appreciate all of you so much. Have a wonderful weekend. Happy Friday. And let me know if you have any questions or anything you want me to cover. Thank you so much.